Hey everyone, with Memorial Day coming up, I know that everybody's looking for recipes and I know everybody makes baked beans. I'm making this for our to-go plates today, so I just wanted to show you how I make mine, and you may have some suggestions for us that we hadn't even thought of. But I've started with 1 pound of ground beef that I have browned and I've drained, and in that, while it was cooking, I only put 1/8 cup of bell pepper. Now, some people like more of a bell pepper flavor, and if you do, you can do 1/2 cup. We just like a hint of bell pepper. I've told y'all again and again that the green bell pepper can be overwhelming sometimes, so I've put 1/8 cup of the chopped green bell peppers and 1/2 cup of onion that I sauteed in with the hamburger meat. And then I put 1/2 teaspoon of the nature seasoning. Of course, that's salt, pepper, and garlic, and you can adjust that to your taste. But anyway, and so that's what it looks like. And we like the baked beans. I like baked beans anyway, that they're prepared really, but the guys like the meat in it. So I always usually do the ground beef. And so I've got 1 can of, and it can be any kind of the baked beans. These are all, you can even do pork and beans. You're just gonna have to adjust the amount of ketchup and the different things like that too, because I grew up making them with the pork and beans. But anyway, we're gonna put 1 can, and here's the trick to this. I only need enough for 1 meal. I'm not looking to have leftovers, but you actually could do 2 cans. This is enough ground beef to do 2 cans, and then you would just need to increase your other ingredients to be able to taste it. And so that's what it looks like whenever I've got my beans in there. See how thick it is? And these are going to be thick baked beans. Okay, and so to this I'm going to put a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. So there's my teaspoon. Now this is one thing I put a little bit different than other people do. I've commented how much I love the smoked paprika, and I usually do a teaspoon of the smoked paprika because it gives it, well, this is hardened on me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of it because it gives it that little bit of smokiness of flavor. You don't have to do it, that's just me. Okay, and so to this, I'm gonna start with 1/2 cup of ketchup. So there's my 1/2 cup of ketchup, and I always put just a squirt of mustard. And so there's a squirt. I don't know, that might have been 1/4 teaspoon. And we're gonna stir this up, and we're gonna see, it's still really thick, but you know, when it cooks, if you don't overcook them, they'll be a little bit more liquid in them than what it is here. And so see how thick they still are? They're really thick. And so we're gonna taste them and see if we need any other ingredients. Oh, I know what I forgot. Now, of course, these have a little bit of sweetness to them, but if you want a little more sweetness, you can add, and that's really probably sweet enough, but I'm gonna put just a teaspoon of sugar. Now, sugar is strictly if you want a sweet flavor or not. And so I think all the other seasonings, I think we do need a little salt. Let me get another fork here, and let's just see. I'm gonna put just a tad more salt. That was just a tad, and just a little more black pepper. That's probably 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. Now I am gonna thin them out a little bit more, and so I really think 1 cup is gonna be about right. This, like I said, this is one of those recipes you just adjust as you go. Now that's the thickness that I like. And like I said, you could actually double everything but the meat, though, because the 1 pound will really do more. But see how thick mine are? Mine are gonna be just really good, and they've got a really good flavor, and you really can taste the smokiness of that smoked paprika. I just want to say, I hope I'm doing better trying. I've had people comment, we can't see what you're cooking, and I think part of that is those little short reels that Facebook will put out. It doesn't capture all of it. But anyway, I'm learning. I've only been doing this for 2.5 months, so I'm still learning, and I appreciate all your encouragement, and I need comments too to be better. And so I hope this works better, that you can see more, because I want you to be able to see it. That's the whole purpose of doing it. And so I'm gonna go, the oven is set on 350. And I'm gonna cook these about 20 minutes, that's all, because I don't want them to get just really dry. And so we'll come back and we'll see what they look like. Okay, I have the baked beans for you. This is the way they look. And like I told you, you could actually put another large can of beans in there and it'd still be enough hamburger meat. We just like ours meaty, and just add some other of your seasonings, the ketchup and all the different things. But that made about 1.5 quarts, and that'll be plenty for us for a meal. I hope that you'll keep faith in your heart, peace in your home, and good food on your table. I love you, and God bless.